Welcome to today's episode of Industry Insights with my guest, Vladimir Surcinski, Vice President and CEO of ENFIT International Association for Supply Chain Safety. Hello and welcome to today's episode of Industry Insights. I'm more than happy to introduce to you Vladimir Surcinski, Vice President and CEO of ENFIT. But I will be happy to have Vladimir introduce himself even more to the audience. So please go ahead.
Thank you, Stephanie, very much for this short introduction. And also thank you very much for calling me to be your guest in your, I would call it short webinars. Yeah. So, I'm actually sanitary and environmental engineer. I finished that as a part of medical school, medical university. Started my working years in a retail company, big retail company, in a quality department responsible for the implementation of ISO 9001 and HCCP. It was in 2009, 2010, and worked a long time there, implementing in more than 360 stores, retail stores, also distributive centers, and some centralized production. Then with this experience, moved to Quality Austria certification body, worked as an auditor for more than 10 years in FSSC 22000, ISO, HCCP, etc., and also as a trainer. And here also build up experience in more than 1,000 of audits, different certifications, etc. And from several years ago, it will be like 3.5 years ago, I joined ENFIT as a country vice president and vice president. And now a little bit of changes happen in 2024. So we made some operational team where I'm also CEO. Yeah. So this is it. The shortest way possible.
Perfect. And this is actually where we met in ENFIT. And this is the reason why we're here together today. So please go ahead and share a little more information about the whole association, what's going on, what's new, and what's on your mind about ENFIT.
Yeah, thank you very much, Stephanie. So, this is the place where we met. Actually, I think it was one of the first conferences of ENFIT and also members meeting, I think. ENFIT as international association, of course, have this, let's say, requirement of the law to have the members meeting, but also to organize conferences each year to transfer all of this knowledge connected from the members or let's say, gathered from the members. So ENFIT is an international association. The focus of ENFIT is the supply chain safety. And what we deal is actually the risks in transport, also design of the transport units, and also any potential contamination during this transport. But then also at the end, to give an inputs to the industry, to the supply chain, to everyone in the supply chain of the food, feed, and chemicals, how to deal with this risk, how to solve them, what to implement. And at the beginning, when I joined ENFIT, for me, it was very interesting. I thought, now as I'm an auditor for more than 10 years, I was thinking like, what is there new to add to the standards? I mean, with the latest versions, everything is clear. What is new, what is additional? Then I started working on these transport issues and realized, oh my God, there is so many things that are not working as we imagine, or as we maybe audit and think that this works with some documents presented to us as evidences, but in the reality, this is not a real thing. Yeah, this is not working. So with ENFIT, actually, what we have done in the previous year by the requirement of the GFSI certification schemes, there is one thing saying that you as the user of transport, this would mean you as a producer, no matter if you are loader or unloader of the product, need to, of course, have the hygienic conditions of this transport, which means that you need to do the cleaning. Maybe you do the cleaning or you are doing the cleaning with the external services engaged into this cleaning, but nevertheless, you have some kind of cleaning program, let's say it like that. This is similar like you would clean your facility, your tanks in the facility. You have your own cleaning program, which includes several steps like, I don't know, pre-wash, main wash, after wash, using of cleaning agents, etc., etc. And this is similar like with the transporting units. Yeah. Only in the case of externally engaged cleaning, you have these cleaning stations, which could be part of the transporting companies or entity for their own, doing the cleaning of transport units, of course, working according to some programs. And probably your viewers already saw the interview you had with Hans-Dieter Filipowski, who is the president. I recommend that they go and check also this interview that you had, where he explained also the guideline, the first guideline actually in the world, where ENFIT presented and the working group presented all the risks in transport, how to evaluate this risk, etc. And of course, the first time was presented the cleaning programs, actually clearly defined cleaning programs depending on the type of transport or type of product that was transported before the cleaning. And this was a big job done, yeah? But then GFSI requirements said, this is all okay, but you need to evaluate risk of your transport of the food. You need to see what is going on actually there, what you have defined, what are the requirements? Have you implemented all of them? Are there any potentials of contamination or food defense, like intentional contamination of your product? You need to do this risk analysis. And for ENFIT, this was a big step because ENFIT said, okay, we now have a working groups, we have experts in our team. Let's define this transport hygiene risk analysis. We call it shortly THR analysis. And we started in last year until the end of 2024. Now I can share the results with you. We have done more than 55 of these, let's say we evaluated more than 55 of companies, and we defined several levels of the risk connected with transport of food in these companies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this is also one of a kind, let's say a benchmark on the market. Yeah. So these levels are from 1 to 5, where 1 is the highest risk, which means that company really has to solve it like in 2 weeks, everything that it has in order to implement the activities to have a safe transport of food. And let's say the expectations are that they arrive at the level 4, which means, okay, there are no risk, maybe some documentation changes, implementation of new things. And then we can say, okay, your transport is now very clear. You have set up all the standards on place and you have the controls, you have the improvements every year based on that. And this is a thing. But this is like, we expect them to be on a level of 75% in that case. Yeah. But I will tell you that the average for these more than 55 companies is on a level 2, something like 34 to 40% success, which is a still big risk. This shows us that wherever in the world we have done this THR analysis, it is showing to us that there is a still big gap regarding transport and the supply chain of food. My personal view on this is that actually as an auditor of the food industry, whenever we audited food industry, whenever I worked also on some implementation, how we consider the food safety. We consider the food safety from door where the raw materials are coming to your facility until the door where your final product is going out of the facility. And then we say, this is our food safety management system, yeah, from door to door, let's say it like that. Mm-hmm. But reality in previous years is that you just have to have more knowledge in order to have really strong food safety management system. You have to understand all what is going on outside of your doors before and after. Yeah,
during transport. And I think this has been a long time forgotten topic in everyone's minds, as you just said, from door to door. But the important part in between the transport, and we're not necessarily only talking about temperature. There are so many other things that take part and that contaminate your food, and people just don't think about it. And often you have a recall and then you just can't figure out why. Where did we go wrong? What happened? And people just forget the part in between, the transportation. And I think
Definitely.
ENFIT has come up with a great solution, because I was very impressed when I first saw it, on how to, well, actually validate how terrible the cleaning usually goes. And can you share? I think you know exactly where I'm heading.
Yeah.
How we can prove how dirty the silos and trucks still are. So can you tell us what happened, what ENFIT came up with to have kind of an evidence to show our potential clients what does not happen in a cleaning station?
Yeah, it's definitely very interesting. Several things actually happened when we started with this transport hygiene risk analysis. We understood that there is no knowledge, or there is a lack of knowledge in the industry to perform this risk analysis. Okay, so we made it. And let's say we are doing it for our members, together with our members. And from there, we have realized so many things. First of the things was a bad design of the transporting units. Yeah, because we can wash something, but if it's inside, it's rusts. The weldings are not okay. The seals are not okay. The, I don't know, gaskets are damaged or something like that. Then what are you cleaning? Yeah, because there's always this damage. There's always potential of hazards inside of it, and this was one major thing. And one of the biggest things in this flow of design was the airlines, which supplies the air for the unloading of the product, meaning that this air is in direct contact with the product. So based on that, we had to think about completely new inspection procedure for these airlines, pipelines, hoses, and everything with the borescope tool, etc. This was one thing. The second thing was to talk with the producers of the transporting units to redesign the way how they produce the airlines and how they connect them to the tanks. The third thing was also to redesign the way how the washing of this will happen. Yeah. So, I mean, these are many things connected with the previous activity. One of the things you mentioned very nicely is the way how industry views the transport risk. We participated in Dubai World Food Safety Conference in 2024, and we set up one question for the audience to answer like a few days before that through some application, web application. And one question was, what is the biggest risk in transport of food? And everyone, not everyone, but I would say like 92, 93% answered temperature of the transport. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is a traditional knowledge. This is what traditionally all the HCCP, all the food safety systems are teaching us. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why temperature? And then I asked them, do you know how much of a transport is under temperature regime in the world? It's approximately 20, 30% of the total transport. Everything else is a transport on ambient regime. Yeah. And what was also interesting is that people do not realize that if the temperature is wrong during transport, when you open this product on your reception control, you can still see that something is wrong. Yeah, you can measure temperature, you can see. But if the washing of the transporting unit was not done in a proper way, when it arrives, and sometimes you cannot have the smell or the view that something is wrong, you don't know. You do the loading, microorganisms are there, and you have a contaminated product. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but this is completely new talking now. Yeah, new knowledge, I would say. Yeah. Everybody knew that something is going on there, but nobody got into deep. So, yeah, now the thing that you mentioned is actually the validation of the cleaning programs. So this is also a requirement of the GFSI that if you're using some kind of cleaning programs, you need to perform the validation of the cleaning programs.
Yeah.
And then we started, okay, now we are going to do the validation of cleaning programs. Let's see what industry said, how this validation is done. So we went up, we tried to find a lots of documents, and we found 0 documents on the validation of transport, which means that, okay, now ENFIT needs to make a new working group to perform this validation. Yeah, so we did it. We included university professors, we included producers of transporting units, producers of equipment in transport, producers of cleaning agents, and this was, and of course, the cleaning station, etc. We also realized that this validation of cleaning is not a very simple thing to do when we talk about the transport who is moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's moving always. It's not always cleaning the same cleaning station. It's not always transporting the same product. So it's completely different thinking of the validation way than it is the validation of the tank, for example, in the facility. You always know that milk goes through it, yeah, or the juice goes through it. So you always know your product. The cleaning program is always the same. And of course, it's your tank that is not moving and it's in your facility. Yeah. So we completely did a new evaluation way. Actually, validation. We did it for, I think, something like more than 15 transporting units with 150 swabs that we took. It was also testing with boroscope, visual testing, also testing with microbiological swabs, testing with protein swabs after cleaning. So we did a lot of testing, lots of swabbing, lots of different controls. And at the end, we got some of the results that somewhere we knew that will happen, but we needed some way of confirmation of that. The good thing is that we have confirmed with ENFIT validation, we have confirmed that cleaning programs of ENFIT are validated, they are working, so there is no microbiology, there are no protein residues after washing with these clearly defined programs. And this was our main intention, yes? But we also concluded that in some cases, even when the cleaning is done, microbiological contaminants are not there, but the protein residues remain. Yeah, these are for some short programs that were not ENFIT programs. And then what happens actually is that when your transport unit comes, you visually have nothing, no smell, no visual, some dirt or something like that. If you take a microbiological swab, it shows you nothing, everything is okay. Yeah. But then probably you have maybe protein remains of the previous load, which could be powdered milk, for example, and you're transporting something that is not allergen. And then what happens is that you have an allergen in your product. So
exactly.
These are a lot of conclusions in 2024. Our idea, what we started for 2025 is actually now we developed the ENFIT DIN norm for the inspection of transporting units. The idea is that we check as much as possible transport units and to approve them for the food transport. With the producers of food transporting units, we are approving them at the site where they are produced. So checking them, approving them, and this approval will be valid for 2 years. And then on every 2 years, these transporting units will be checked. This is one thing. The second thing is that we are continuing with developing of the strong training program for employees on loading, unloading operators, operators in cleaning stations, managers, purchasing managers, which is very important. There is a lack of knowledge definitely in there. And the biggest thing is also that we continue doing the validation of the rest of the programs of the ENFIT that we have developed. These are just short, let's say, big things, but there are many small projects that we continue doing, and
Wonderful. I was just going to ask you for a little view into 2025, but you already did that. So I think this is just great information that you shared with us, very beneficial to the viewers. And so thank you very much. The time is up, Vladimir, and I'm really thankful for you to have been guest in my interview series and shared all of that information. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have not been aware either of ENFIT itself or about any of the information you have given. So thank you very much. It's been, as always, a pleasure talking to you, and looking forward to maybe a next interview at the end of 25. Who knows?
That would be perfect.
Okay.
Thank you very much for the invitation, and
Of
thank you very
course.
much for the space to share about all the
Yes.
activities ENFIT is doing.
Yes, it's a very important topic, and yeah, hopefully we can raise awareness for that. So thank
Yeah.
you very much, Vladimir.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.
Bye.
This has been today's episode of Industry Insights with my guest, Vladimir Surcinski. Thank you for your attention. See you again soon. Bye.